Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. And today we're going to be looking at the state of Maryland, and we're going to be, trying to start what hopefully will be a new series. This could completely flop, I could forget about it or lose interest, but if you guys react to this video well, which I think some of you are going to love it, some of you are going to be completely bored, whatever, tell me what you think in the comments down below. We're going to be doing a redistricting series, or we're going to do a Democratic gerrymander of a state, a Republican gerrymander of a state, and then a fair version of the state that would, I hope, be the map in your ideal world. So first of all, we should select a data set for all these maps. Now, DRA has kind of a wide variety of things to choose for Maryland, so we can, pick the Democratic Senate victory in 2016, Clinton in 2016, 2018 Senate race victory. I think that was that's Ben Cardin in 2018, Chris Van Hollen in 2016. The Attorney General election 2018, I'm not going to pretend like I know who the Attorney General of Maryland is. The Governor, Larry Hogan, who is a Republican. That would not be a realistic map. If we did use Hogan's numbers, it would be super imbalanced and it would be a dummy mander. We can use composite data or president data. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some president data, because when you factor in Hogan's wins in 2014, 2018, it makes the state a lot more Republican than it actually is. Plus, Maryland is generally trending blue. I mean, Biden outperformed both Obama and Clinton here, so if anything, this data set we're going to be using is underestimating the Democrats. So we're going to apply that here. We're going to apply that to all of these maps we're going to be using, because it's the most accurate. Now we can, just to show you what it would look like for Hogan's election, that's not an accurate map of Maryland. There's a lot more red than there would be otherwise. So we're just going to use 2012-2016 composite. So let's get started with our Democratic gerrymander. And, first we should just kind of get through the basics. This is going to be a map that's never going to happen. It's going to be a dummy mander for most states. Now, Maryland is a state that's Democratic enough where you can draw a pretty solid district for the Democratic Party. But, again, I'm not sure where I'm going with this. We'll have to see. So, first of all, I'm not going to show me doing every precinct, because that would be annoying, so we have to cut parts out of this video, but we should just start by filling in some counties. These are more Republican counties, but they only make up around what would be around, a third of the district's population or something. So we should just kind of get in this more Republican area of the state, and then we should, kind of connect to more Democratic areas over here. We're going to kind of get some of these more Democratic areas in. We can actually shade this by partisan lean, and I'll show you. It'll slowly get bluer. Look, it just turned light red. Not light red, but it got a little. It turned into a little lighter of a shade of red than it was before. We're just going to get in these surrounding precincts to make it look a little more bearable. Now we just have this kind of sea of blue over here. We can just, keep affiliating these precincts, and the district gets more competitive and more competitive. So that is solid for the Democratic Party. At this point, it's getting bluer and bluer. So we're just going to kind of finish this district off. I should actually turn back here because it gets kind of hard to see, although this is blue either way. So, again, really hard to tell. Yeah, we should just probably fill the rest. That's getting bigger. So, actually, I'm going to try to, because I've seen people make safe Democratic districts in Maryland pretty easily, I'm actually going to try to shave off some of these more Republican parts, actually go all the way over here and make this district. We can actually split some precincts. We can use the block feature, which allows you to actually go, split some precincts in half, actually. So we can use this feature really quickly. So now as you can see, we've kind of shaved off just kind of a thin, this actually is not contiguous, we should actually edit this. But, as you can see, we've kind of, this is going to be the template, and I'm not going to show the whole process for the entirety of this video. We've shaved off a lot. So now we can kind of see the partisan lean. It's already pretty blue. We should try to make this safe, though, and get in some more Democratic voters over here. This district might actually not be safe in the end, but yeah, we should just get in more Democratic precincts. The more, the better in this case, and then we'll do the same for the Republican Party. We should try to get this, I try to generally, my general rule of thumb is a district should not have over 1,000 more people, so actually that should be good. So this district has a population deviation of only 53, which is pretty solid. In this district, according to this, it might not be, it is contiguous, and this would be a D plus 17 district, which is pretty solid for the Democrats. And this is our first district. So now we're going to lock this, kind of confirm that as our first official district. And, now we're going to get rid of the rest of this. And we're going to try to make this district safe Democrat as well. By kind of, I'm actually going to shave off a little bit of this, but I'm going to try to take as many Republican precincts as I can while making this district safety, as you might expect. So that's what we're kind of doing here. This is kind of this is like the West Virginia version of Maryland. It's not super Republican, but it is one of the more Republican areas of the state. So just going to kind of get that in here. So at this point, this is a pretty safe Republican district. But as you can see, when we start to add some more Democratic precincts, it will get, any second now, it'll turn light red right there. It turned to light red. And it's kind of hard for me to see this other district here because it's the same color. But we can kind of get this here and try to make sure that this district is fully contiguous. That it's not, that is all connected, I guess you could say. And we have a bit of a problem here. We need to shave off a little bit of this precinct, and like you're gonna run into this, you'll just see this like a small precinct blocking something. So we're just gonna do that and just connect it right there. So we have now finished the second congressional district, and we're going to lock that in place as well as the first. And now, we kind of still have some more Republican areas. So we're going to try to fill in these counties, and this is already a little more competitive than I thought it would be originally. So we should just kind of add this in here. And now the rest of this district, we're going to try to make it at least D plus 15. So we're just going to shave in or add in entirely Democratic precincts with a few Republican ones. But these Republican precincts are not even that Republican. They're not really that deep red. So we're going to see as this gets, and again, this is going to be an ugly district. I'm not going to act like this is going to be pretty, but we're going to try to encompass as much of Baltimore as we can, which is the most Democratic part of the state of Maryland. So this looks like this is not going to be as Democratic as we would desire. So instead, what we're going to do, actually, this might actually work. We're just going to keep adding these Democratic precincts, and it looks like after we add, though, no, maybe not. There we go. So now we can take a look at our analytics. Again, make sure that these districts are contiguous and that they would work. So we do see that the second district is Democratic enough, but it's not contiguous. So we're going to use this tool up here to find non-contiguous districts. And there are 3 parts of this that are not contiguous. So we're going to unlock this. We're going to give this to the that has no people anyways. Doesn't really make a difference. So, most of these precincts that are unassigned that make the district non-contiguous don't really matter because they're small and they have no people there. So it doesn't really have an impact. But I think other than that, it looks like we're good to go. So now we're going to start on our 4th district, and I'll let you know when we're finished with that one. So the 4th district encompasses basically the most Republican part of the state behind the Appalachian part, which is the far eastern part that's kind of just basically southern Delaware. As you can see, it's a very Republican area of the state. But we added that. And this district looks like it's going to be around D plus 15, which is probably the most Republican district in the state. And now we've kind of just got Democratic areas. These are the more Republican districts, and there's still, at the very least, D plus 15. So we're just going to, we kind of got into the easy part. We can just fill in these counties. So this district's going to be very Democratic. We're just going to make sure it's contiguous, connect it across here. Then we're going to try to add in some Republican areas to make sure it doesn't get too imbalanced. And this might actually be a majority minority district. I'm not sure. The 5th actually comes close. It's actually not, but we'll try to make at least one. I'm not sure if that's VRA. So, some of these maps are not going to be VRA compliant. That's okay. We're mostly going to just try to have fun with gerrymandering, which sounds very cursed. But, in reality, I think the best part for all of us is going to be the fair map, because I think we all can agree gerrymandering is terrible for our democracy. I'm just going to add in a part of this precinct. And then it looks like we'll be done with District 5. So after filling in these parts, that's essentially what this district's going to look like. Again, it's very ugly. It looks like it almost looks like the hammer and the sickle, which is on the Soviet Union flag. It's also a very Democratic district. We're going to see that is contiguous, and it is D plus, basically, that's around a D plus 27 type district. So the 5th, this district, very Democratic, and we're trying to make a majority-minority district. We're going to see Prince George's County has a pretty big black population. We're trying to make a majority black district to make it at least somewhat VRA compliant. I think Maryland needs to have 2 or something like that, because it is a very diverse state, but we're going to see what we can do here, trying to make at least one semi-decent district here. So we have now made ourselves a majority-minority district, and I actually turned on the minority function to see which districts are most diverse. So we're going to turn off demographics. We're just going to do partisan lean, but you can adjust. You can, for those of you who don't know, you can adjust this to see minorities. But this 6th district is contiguous. It's also very Democratic. It's 87.1% Democratic, and it is, I think it's entirely Democratic precincts, and it is 72% minority and 53% black. It also has a decent Hispanic population and interesting amount of Asian voters there. So now we're just going to have to crack the rest of the state in half, and either way it should be, both these districts should be pretty blue. So I think after seeing this, yeah, that one's safe. D, we're just going to go back to precinct, get rid of a few, because this district's a little big. I'm just going to shave off a little bit of this to try to make it have a population that would fit. So I think we just got to add one precinct. We'll actually have to, the precincts in Maryland are a little big, so we're just going to have to shave off a little bit of this precinct. And there, that's only a population deviation of 125 people, which is pretty solid. We're going to lock this and then just fill in the rest of the map, and we have our Democratic gerrymander of the state of Maryland right here. So I think that's it. We're just going to make sure these districts are contiguous before we turn into present mode, but District 7 is not contiguous, so we're going to try to find non-contiguous district. Interesting. So again, we're going to have to make some edits here. This district, this has 13 people. This precinct has no one, which is going to be helpful. And then here we go. So I think that is it for the non-contiguous districts. The 0.24% population deviation is within the 0.75% threshold tolerated by courts. There are 2 majority minority districts, so this might actually be VRA compliant. I'm not sure. I think it is, though. So I think at this point we can look at this map, take a look at it in present mode, and we can lock these districts. We don't make any edits on accident. We're going to turn on district lines, turn off precinct lines, and turn on partisan lean. I don't. So as you can see, we have every district, I believe, is at least D plus 15. The closest district would be, this one's around D plus 13 and 0.2. District 8, D plus 13.2, which we can turn on labels, is District 8. This district is the most competitive, but let's take a look at Hogan's win. So a lot of these districts are going to be red. Let's see. As you can see, in Larry Hogan's win, which was that was a very big win for the Republicans, only 2 of these districts say blue, but the Democrats don't have to worry about this being a dummy mander because, remember, a Republican would never win these districts, in a presidential election ever. So, yeah. Now, this was a little competitive in the 2016 election, in the 2016 election, the presidential election. It was more solid for the Democrats. Let's take a look at the composite data. It gets a little redder, these 3 over here, but that's mostly due to Hogan having 2 wins in there. So, the most accurate data set has all these districts as pretty Democratic, and I think we could find a data set like the 2018 Senate race where they're all safe blue. Yeah, they're all safe blue in the Senate race. So I think this is a pretty solid gerrymander for the Democratic Party if they want to do something with Maryland. Now, this probably won't end up happening. At least the 5th district looks ridiculous. You have to zoom in to see it's contiguous. So I think that's going to be it for the Democratic gerrymander of Maryland. Now we're going to move on to the Republican gerrymander. We're going to get right into it. So you know what I did here, but we're going to do the opposite. We're going to try to pack some cities or some of these Democratic areas. So first, we're going to fill in all of St. George's County to just try to have a vote sync for the Democrats. And we're going to be taking a look at this district by shaving off some of it and giving it to this green district, which is going to be, we'll have to see. I think we might make it into a lean Republican district at the end of the day. Oh, that got a little too big, a little too small, actually. So I think that's going to be, we're just going to shave off a few blocks here. And I think that's going to make this district, the first district at least, our first official Democratic vote sync, which is a key part of gerrymandering. The Republicans are the minority party in the state. They're going to have some of these districts be very blue. I think this district is also is majority minority, which is, it's 81% minority. The second district, we could also try to make a Democratic vote sync by making it majority minority. Actually, no, we're not going to do that now that I think of it. So we're going to try to make this district more Republican by giving it some more Republican areas. Now, no, I'm going to make this I'm going to try to see what we can do here. We're going to try to make this a competitive Republican district. Let's see. So this district is currently the second district is D plus 17. We're going to try to actually give the first district these Democratic precincts over here that are making it a little bluer. So let's take a look at these counties. We're just going to actually fill in all of this, and there we go. So now if we can take a look at districts partisan lean, this district is now a little redder. So we're just going to fill this in until it gets blue. This is blue right now, but what we're going to do is we're going to actually get rid of some of the areas over here, right? And I'm kind of all over the place. We're just going to try to make this, have this district concede some area over here instead of over there, which was my previous strategy. But we're improvising here. As you can probably tell, this video is not scripted, and we're just going to try to go along with what we can do. But I think that's a solid first district. It's still majority minority. It's still contiguous. But the second district is going to be a narrow Republican district, and it'll be really close again as the minority party of Maryland. They're going to have to see what they can get. But we're going to shade this in for the GOP. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's going to end up being a very narrow Republican district. Oh no, dang it, that precinct's going to be very annoying, isn't it? We're just not going to deal with that precinct. I just do not feel like dealing with it right now. So instead, we're just going to have to add some stuff over here. I think that's going to be it for this district. So assuming that these are both contiguous, they are. This is this is an R plus 2.5 district essentially. And, I'm trying to make 4 Republican districts. That's step 1. Now we're going to have to try to pack some more Democrats into another district right here. Over here, we have Howard County. Right, there's Hartford County. I don't know why. And Arundel. So what we're going to do over here is we are going to just make this a Democratic vote sync by just packing these Democrats into this district right here, which I'll get back to you when I'm done. So with that, we have packed the Democrats into what looks like to be 3 districts in kind of the DC area. Then we're going to make another Baltimore-based district for the Democratic Party. Right here, this is going to be another solid blue district. Then we're going to try to make the rest of these districts pretty Republican, or at least try. So, yeah, putting these remaining areas that are blue inside this district, we're just going to there we go. So we've shored up this district for the Democrats. It's kind of Baltimore than the DC area. So we're going to lock these districts. Now we're going to try to make a more Republican district by getting all this Appalachian Republican vote here, combine it with this. That's a narrow Democratic district, but there's too much people. So we're going to try to get rid of some Democratic voters here by eliminating them from the district and putting them in another district. So first, I think that, we're going under right now, but this would still be a Democratic district. So what we're going to do is we're going to borrow some more Republican precincts from kind of over here, this more rural northern part of the state that's close to southern Pennsylvania, really. And now at this point, this is a narrow Republican district. We're just going to add back some Democrats. Let's see if how much people? Oh, I see. I misread that. So we're going to shave off some Republican areas. Let's see. We're just gonna get rid of this. So I think this is gonna be our other districts. So District 4, narrowly Republican. We've kind of added the Appalachian areas to some more Nova suburbs, which are pretty blue. But I think that's gonna cancel out enough. So now we've only got 2 more districts left, and as you can see, these are gonna be Republican districts. It looks like. Whoa! I did not mean to do that. Whoa! Let's just finish this up. So I think we're done with this map of Maryland for the Republican Party. We packed the Democrats into 4 districts, and we were able to get some Republican districts. I'm going to turn off this add labels, and turn on partisan lean. Drum roll, please. And we have drawn 4 out of 8 districts to be Republican. And as you can see, the most solid of the GOP is District 8. District 4 is, I think, the least solid. I think it's District 2, actually. They're all contiguous. Oh, yeah, so District 2... is the least solid. So actually District 8 is actually R plus 15. So we can actually kind of, if I want to, I can make these districts more balanced, but I'm going to try to make this video as short as possible. It's already running long. It's going to be a half-an-hour video with editing, hopefully. So this is our Republican map of Maryland, and we're going to take a look at some data sets. Taking a look at the 2016 Senate race, the district's going to solidify for the GOP in 2016 president. I think Clinton might have won one of these. No, she didn't. Taking a look at 2018 senator, I think these are going to be all. Oh no, 8's not Democratic, but I think Larry Hogan probably won 4 out of 8, maybe 5. No, but he comes pretty close to winning District 3. And of course, those are all safe. And composite, as you can see, these are all still Republicans. So this is a pretty nice gerrymander for the Republicans in Maryland. They're not going to do it because they have no control over the process, and the Democrats in Maryland have a supermajority in the state legislature. So I think that's going to be it for our Republican gerrymander of Maryland. And now we're going to be looking at our fair map, which is going to be the most fun map to make, because why try to screw over people when you can actually be nice? No, I wish I was in charge of redistricting. I'd make every state fair. But we are now going to take a look at fair map of Maryland. So we're just going to try to not split precincts, and this is going to actually be the easier counties. This is actually going to be the easiest for us to do, because you're just kind of connecting these areas. So I think that we should try to make a plan first. So I think we should have this map should be 6-2 in favor of the Democrats, and I think the 2 Republican districts should be competitive, and there should be 1 competitive Democratic district. So we're going to try to do that. So this right now is a Republican district, but let's make it a little more competitive by adding in some Democratic areas. I think this should be likely are at this point. Yeah, this is going to be a district that's going to have a Republican lean for sure. But if we shave off some more Republican parts, add some more Democrats here, that's going to be pretty close, and we'll have a chance to flip to the Democratic Party. So I think this is going to be it for Democrats over here. We're going to add in some more Republican precincts right there. We're going to add in one more. Here we go. So I think this is going to be our first district. It's going to be a narrow Republican district. In a blue wave, it could definitely flip. So that's our first. Just to make things easier, we're trying to make our next Republican district by kind of connecting these areas down here. So this would be a narrow Republican district already, but let's try to mess around with this and make it hyper competitive. So we're going to add some Democratic areas, and it's already a lean blue district right now. But let's try to add in some more Republican areas to make it, again, a very narrow Republican district that could flip in a blue wave. Because in a blue wave, the Democrats would be able to win all 8 of these seats, hopefully, of course. Now, if it weren't a blue wave, the Republicans would be able, if it were a red wave, they'd probably pick up a seat here too. We just wanted to have the Democratic district. But at worst for Democrats, it would be 5-3 in their favor. At best for them, they'd win all 8. But I think this is going to be our other Republican districts. So now we're going to try to make that competitive Democratic district, and we're just going to fill in the rest for the Democrats. So let's see. We can't do that. There are 2 Baltimore City and Baltimore County. So this is a Republican. We're just going to try to round out this area out here, and I think with that being said, we're going to just head in to Baltimore and collect some of these Democratic voters here. I sound like I'm a kidnapper, but no, I'm only kidnapping them so that they can go in this congressional district. But here we go. Let's fill this in. So this 3rd district is going to be a narrow Democratic district. Let's make sure it's contiguous. This would be a D+9 or so district. So, it's competitive, but it certainly has a Democratic lean. So then we're just going to fill in these districts, which I did. And for those of you wondering, this part of the recording did get cut off, but I do have the map because DRA automatically saves. But this is essentially what the map's going to look like. It's pretty fair, and we're going to just test it out. So as you can see, we have 3 competitive districts, 2 of which are Republican. The 2 Republican districts are pretty competitive. Then there's also the 6th Congressional District, which is it's a Democratic leaning district for sure, but it's semi-competitive, I guess. We'll see the numbers. It's around D+13, so maybe in a very Republican year the GOP could flip it, but even then, if anything, we're underestimating Democratic support here. So let's take a look at some data sets. So Larry Hogan in 2018, he won his governor's race by 13%, so we'd expect him to win 5 or 6 of these districts. Let's see what we can have here. And yes, he does actually win 5 out of 8 districts, which, I think that's a pretty good showing. Now, in the 2016 Senate race, that was a slight underperformance for Democrats. They did all right, but they still won, but they didn't do as well as expected. So, the Republicans could expect to win 2 to 3 districts here, and they nearly lost the 3rd district in this situation. They'd lose it by only around 5%. So it's flippable for them in the 3rd district. So, and I think that's it. Now, composite, I think. 2 Republican districts, and the 3rd's, the competitive Democratic district. The 6th is also a district that's trending to the left, as is the 5th. So these, the Democratic areas, the state are trending to the left, like the state as a whole. So I think that's a pretty good map, and it, puts communities together. We have some minorities. We have some majority minority districts, like the 7th district, as well as the 4th district. So I think this is a pretty solid, fair map, and I'm pretty proud of it. So if you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like. If you did not enjoy, leave a dislike. You remember to do that. Seriously, don't abstain. Vote, dislike, or like. So I think that's going to be it for this video. Again, comment down below what I should do next. I'm not going to make it in alphabetical order, but I think that's it, guys. So again, comment down below what I should do next. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.